Joining me now is Matt Cauz, TSN 1050 host and co-host of the Mako and Cauz podcast. Matt, thanks very much for joining us. Not the conversation we want to have right now.
Yeah.
Stunning news.
Yeah, it really is. And the information started to trickle at around 5:20, 5:30 this morning. Around 7 o'clock or so, it was confirmed, and now we're finding out more of the details about the drunk drivers when charged with a couple counts of impaired driving and death by automobile. And this is such a gut punch throughout the entire NHL, because this is a 31-year-old with still an entire career ahead of him in the NHL. And him and his brother, they played together when at Boston College when Johnny won the top collegiate hockey player award. And, to go from being a fourth-round draft pick to a guy making the All-Star team 7 times also screams about the work ethic that Johnny Gaudreau possessed. I mean, just devastating, unexpected news from in every aspect.
I mean, he was not a big man by any stretch, but boy, oh boy, he could play.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. That's why he got the nickname Johnny Hockey. It's one of the reasons people liked him. It's always, you always expect the 6'2", 200+ pound giant of a man to do well in the NHL. But what I think always connects with hockey fans is the guy who's a little bit smaller in stature, the guy who's not drafted in the first round, the player who isn't guaranteed success. When you see those stories succeed on the ice, it's easy to root for him. And certainly there was a connection, as you mentioned, here in Canada. His best years were in Calgary. They were part of some really exciting teams. So to see that story snuffed out in such a just, again, I'm trying to use other words than tragic. It just, in some ways, it feels like that this wasn't supposed to be how it ended. He was supposed to be in everyone's hockey lives longer, and a young father and a husband. I mean, it's just such a sad story.
And that's we can talk about his accomplishments on the ice, but also married, 2 young kids, and out riding with his brother. And that's going to get lost, unfortunately, in this, is that his brother was also killed by this apparent drunk driver.
Yes. Yeah, his brother also a brief career in the NHL. His brother also now coaching hockey as well. So also looking to have an impact on a next generation, a younger generation of skaters. Yes. And the brother Matthew, 29 years old, it's just in every way possible. This is a story I think it's hard for people to fully comprehend because, everyone has an idea of celebrities or of other people in their lives about how their careers are going to go and how they're going to be in our lives. This is not the way anyone expected the final chapter to be in such a senseless, horrible act.
No, and he was on pace probably to become, I would say, at least top 10 American players of all time.
Yeah. Yeah, he was
if not
going
top
up there,
5.
Yeah, we talk about, obviously, the Austin Matthews of the world. And yes, that's where Johnny Gaudreau was certainly heading. And at 31, he still had many more years left in him. And, this is a guy, we've seen the potential 3 times scoring 30 goals or more, 7 times making an all-star team. Yes, the hockey version of Johnny Gaudreau had still many chapters left to be written.
Sad, sad day today. All right, Matt, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.